יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת 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 שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שבת שלום. Let's turn straight on to Lechadodi, page 38. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך תודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך תודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Page 40. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך תודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. קבלה. Fourth stanza. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תעריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך תודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, Pnei Shabbat nikabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat kabela. Mo'id v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת. Can all be seated? Someone mentioned at the brunch a couple of weeks ago on Sunday, Carl, was it you or who was it who mentioned about the year that we were in the tent and just kept raining? David, you mentioned it. Okay, so in those days, we used to get a big crowd on the first night of Rosh Hashanah, really big crowd. So I had my first, sermon of the year ready to go, and it rained so hard, nobody really heard it. But that was okay, because now I had a sermon for Yom Kippur. So, and by Yom Kippur, we were in mud, pure mud. We were just talking about it, Alan. We were in mud, and what's that? We sunk in. It was hard to get up. We sunk in.
Lots of straw.
We tried, a lot of straw. We tried. So then it comes Yom Kippur, and I start giving exactly the same sermon, and it started pouring again. So you told that story, David. But I'm sure that no one recalls what the sermon was about. First of all, you never really heard it. So, but the sermon was about the importance of communication. No, and I didn't even save it for the next year. I figured, you know what, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Right? Okay. How about if we go to page 42 and the fifth line in the Hebrew. Magadlo Ma'asechaya Me'odam ko machshevotecha Magadlo Ma'asechaya Me'odam ko machshevotecha Magadlo Ma'asechaya Me'odam ko machshevotecha. How about if we join together the last four couplets? The righteous will flourish like the palm tree. They will thrive like the cedar of Lebanon. Even in old age, they will bear fruit, retaining their vigor and their strength. Okay, great. Rick and Cheryl, can I invite you to come up and open the Ark? You won the prize. No. You're good. Let's all rise. Page 50. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim B'chokhma Poteach She'arim Uvidvuna Mishane Itim Umachalif Et Hazmanim Umesader Et HaKochavim B'mishmerotehem Borei Yom V'Alayla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or Uma'avir Yom Umevi Layla Umavdil Ben Yom Uvein Layla Adonai Tzvaot Shemo Elchai V'Kayam Tamid Jimloch Alenu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai Ama'arev Aravim. Let's continue together, page 52, a love that lasts forever. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amechavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu uvkomeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu V'yorech yameinu V'yorech yameinu Uvahem nehege Yomam v'layla Yomam v'layla Yahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch ata Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'chol levavecha Uv'chol nafshecha Uv'chol me'odecha V'hayo Advarim ha'ele Asher anochi Netzavecha Hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאור על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם How about if we turn together to page 57 and we'll join together in the third paragraph, taken from Sefer Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy. Therefore keep these words of mine in your heart and in your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your arm and let them be a reminder above your eyes. Teach them to your children, speaking of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down at night and when you rise up in the morning. Write them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. Thus your days and the days of your children will be multiplied on the land which Adonai promised to your ancestors for as long as the heavens remain over the earth. Let's pick up together on page 60. Anybody remember the prayer book that we used to use when we were in the original sanctuary? It was the Silverman prayer book. And what was it called? Well, actually, Ron, you're right, because everybody referred to it as the Silverman prayer book. Yeah, on the title of it was Sabbath and Festival Prayer Book, but it was known as the Silverman prayer book. Okay, so now when we decided to move to the next stage, what was the prayer book that we were using then? Likrat Shabbat. Right. So Likrat Shabbat was only a Friday night service. And then they published the same publishing house did a Saturday morning service. So we had one prayer book for Friday night, one prayer book for Shabbat morning, and then they combined the two, and we have Sidur Chadash. Ta-da! And that's where we are today. Yeah. But if any of you are interested in a Likrat Shabbat or the Shabbat morning prayer book only, we have many of them in the closet. We'd be happy to give you. You want 10? We'll give you 10. Okay. Towards the bottom of page 60. U'malchuto b'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uvnei Yisrael lecha'anu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam. Together, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקר יום לפני משה זה אלי עדו ויעברו ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני Kal Yisrael. Let's look on page 63 and we'll read through the Hashkivenu in the English antiphonally. So if those sitting on this side of the sanctuary would begin, those sitting on this side would respond. Hashkivenu, help us to lie down in peace. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל Yerushalayim. So the melody that we use today for the V'shamru is actually the second melody of the V'shamru that we've sung since the founding of the synagogue. We're going to do the first one tonight, but this one has really, it's been like 45 years that we've been doing this melody, but we started with this melody. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. Leading us into the evening Amidah, let's turn first to page 66-67. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ביולמה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה מימרו יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עולמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה ואמרו. So we can continue through the Amidah, pages 70-71 through 76-77. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. O ya'aseh shalom, O ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. How about if we all rise for the Shabbat Kiddush? Page 90. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei perei hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon Hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh Bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta v'kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'hava uvratzon hinechaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. Great. Okay. Now for the really fun part tonight, and that is our sharing of memories. So, any memory that you have of time spent in our original building, now known as Founders Hall, located in the East Wing, would be great to share. So, some people don't like to use their outside voice, so we have this microphone. Okay, you know what? Yeah, sure. Zach, could I borrow you for a moment? Could you be our mic person? And if the mic doesn't die before we're done, consider this a great accomplishment because we never seem to have batteries that last. Okay, so it's Sherry out there first.
One of my husband's friends, a man named Joel Wasserman, belonged here. And when we moved to Huntington Valley, to Southampton, he said, "You've got to come here." So we came. Becca and Joshua were very little. They were still, in Jewish day school. And I just remember you jumping off of something and coming over to us. And we just said, "This is our synagogue."
Yeah.
And it's been our synagogue ever since.
Yeah, that's great. Joel was one of our early men's club presidents. He was married to Jill Wasserman. Yeah. Yeah, Cheryl. Cheryl and Rick.
Our daughter now, Missy Goldberg, who is 52 years old, she had her bat mitzvah in that room. We had 200 people. In December, it was 72 degrees. We had 200 people in there. We had people standing in the kitchen. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful service, thanks to our rabbi. And we will never, ever forget it. Really?
Yeah, that was a great service. Yeah. And you had Shir Hadash playing the party, right? Yeah.
We have too many memories to really talk about one special one, but I remember when we decided to join Ohev Shalom. We moved up to Richboro in 1975, and we decided that we wanted to be part of a congregation. So there were two starting, and one was Sheremy and one was Ohev Shalom. And we went to Sheremy first because some of our friends were looking at it, and the service was okay. But then the next week, the next Shabbat, we went to Ohev Shalom, and I think the services were at the Friends Meeting House. I'm not sure, and we just watched in awe as our two oldest kids, Missy and John, gathered with the other kids at the services around Rabbi Perlstein, and I always said he was like the Pied Piper, and that was the deciding factor. We wanted to belong to a synagogue where our kids felt that they belonged.
Great. That's great. We got a lot of hands over here, Zach. A lot of hands going up.
We decided almost right away that we wanted to belong to Ohev, having seen the entire congregation pretty much come to every service. But I wanted to be Jewish. And I remember meeting the rabbi, and we met across the way at a deli. And I wanted to impress the rabbi with my Jewish knowledge, so I wanted to order something Jewish. So I ordered a Reuben. Didn't know about the cheese and meat thing at that time. At any rate, Eileen and I were poor as church mice then, and I didn't have a penny in my pocket, so Rabbi, you paid for my Reuben. Thank you very much.
I want to say, we were just in the old building for 1 year, but I remember the Friday night services for the kids. Such participation for the kids. They were up there all the time. I mean, it wasn't that large a congregation then, but it was like everybody knew everyone, and the kids were a part of everything.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
I have a whole list of things here.
Oh, boy.
I won't go through all of them, though. I had my first Aliyah here. I had been going, I was a regular Saturday morning person in whatever synagogue I was attending at that particular time. I had my first Aliyah. I was so uncomfortable. I can't tell you. Then I had a second Aliyah, and Rabbi said, why don't you put on a talit? So I did, and I couldn't wait to get it off. I was so uncomfortable. I have at least 10 now. I have made several of them. I remember so well, Rabbi's going to say to my son, you want to do the Haftorah? He would go outside, sit on the steps, look at it, come back in 5 minutes late, and essentially sight-read the Haftorah week after week after week. And I remember my husband leading the singing a lot of times at services, and I remember when we went from having Shabbat morning services every second week to every week, and that was, thank you very much. I always appreciated that. That was so we could say Kaddish. And I remember your favorite word in those days, Rabbi. It was stuff. You
Really?
used that word over and over and over again.
Stuff. It's a great
And
word.
I also recall so vividly Les. If you hung around here in the early days, you would have known Les. He was the custodian here.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was such a nice, helpful.
Wow.
It kind of broke his heart when he couldn't manage this building and he had to leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so.
Thanks, Sonny. Thanks.
So I'm here.
You know what? You know what, Zach? Okay. Okay. Barbara's gonna.
I'm a teacher, remember?
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm here because of Cheryl and Rick, and this lady was the first person I met here besides the two of them. Now, my son, my son thinks he's a legend here, Todd. Some of you might remember him. So it's 1997. It's a Purim celebration. My son drank all this Manischewitz stuff here, and he had just gotten. I think he had his license.
Wait. 1997.
1997.
We weren't there in 1997.
No, you weren't there. It was over there. In 1997, Purim was here.
I know it was here, but we're talking about things that were there.
Okay, wait.
Nina.
I'll get to it.
Nina.
I'll get to it.
I'm kidding. Go on. Go on.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
There's all this stuff here. And he went to Arlene Rosenbaum's house and got really sick.
Okay.
He's a legend. And that is why today, Barbara gives out the wine. Kids don't take their own wine because of him. He thinks that.
Okay.
Now,
That's
here's that story.
okay.
So that's over there. I told you this. So they used to jump out the window.
Oh, yeah.
To McDonald's. But they thought they would they'd eat French fries because those kids were supposed to eat. That was okay.
Nina, did you email me those memories?
Yeah, I think I did.
And what did I write back?
You said you'd rather not talk about it.
Well, no. I have. In other words, I wrote back. I have other memories I like to think about. Yeah. Okay. So your son jumped out the window. That's it's a beautiful thing. Okay. Good. Okay. Libby.
Well, one of my sweetest memories has to do with you. And I have held you close to my heart ever since.
Oh, we got a microphone, Libby.
Oh, okay.
That's great. Thanks, Barbara.
It was 1984, and we were moving from Northeast Philadelphia to Richboro. Couldn't move without having a synagogue to come to. Dave was busy, and I was given the job to come here to sit quietly during services and observe. During the service, there was a time when you were able to leave the bima, as you used to do. Maybe you still do it, I think so. And you saw a little child sitting alone. I didn't see any parents. And you walked over to that little child, and you sat down, and you smiled, and you just comforted that child. At that moment, I was in love. I said, any rabbi that is that warm and compassionate to the tiniest little congregant will be just perfect for the Weiss family. I came home and I said to Dave, I don't have to go to any more synagogues. I found my synagogue. I found my rabbi.
Now that's a memory. You see? That's a memory. Thanks, Libby. That's very sweet. Thank you. Very sweet. Okay, Carl. Yes. That's right. Yes.
That's right. I don't need the microphone. I'll use my big voice. So Rachel and I joined the synagogue in 1982, and I remember coming here, and I came from West Oak Lane Jewish Community Center, this two classrooms.
Right, right.
And then back to Founders Hall, because we moved in here and
Yeah.
all the changes that have happened over the years.
Yeah, how to change
But
this.
I remember, what kind of verstickende synagogue is this? Wonderful.
And little did you know, Carl, that you and Rachel would be builders of the synagogue. It wasn't going to remain that little tiny synagogue forever. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Eileen.
One of my favorite ongoing memories was being in the adult bar mitzvah class with you as our Rav, our teacher. I think I was always drawn to Judaism. My parents, though they were Reform Jews, they were very diligently members of their synagogue, and they had a strong identity. But I think it was my being in the adult bar mitzvah class which really solidified and enhanced and made me really love Judaism and all the wisdom, sayings of the fathers, and all the wisdom of Judaism. And I think that was because I was in your class. The other two brief comments of memories, you might be able to answer this for me. Would you remember if my parents, I think my parents were members of the old synagogue building before they came here. I'm not positive. Would you wouldn't know, would you? My parents were.
No, I recall your parents. Your parents belonged to a synagogue in Mount Airy at one time, Reformed Synagogue. Is that correct? When you said they were
yes.
Was that called Beth Or?
Well, that was, yes.
Yeah, it was Beth Or,
Yes.
which now is one of the biggest synagogues in the entire metropolitan area. Yeah.
But that was a really long time ago. I was confirmed at Beth Or.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But then they did come here, but I don't know.
No, your parents were here all the time.
Yeah, and I remember sitting.
They lived on Copman Avenue.
I'm sorry?
They lived on Copman Avenue.
Good memory. And I remember my mother being concerned if she was a good enough Jew. And she would talk to you, and you would reassure her. And I think you might have said something like, the fact that you're even asking the question was a little bit of evidence that she cared so much about being a good Jew. And my father would sit next to me, and I would as an adult, touch affectionately the string on his talit.
Yeah.
So those are some of my memories. And,
So I officiated at your parents' 50th anniversary.
Yes.
And I stopped over to their apartment.
Yes.
On Copman Avenue. I really got to know them really better with that. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you know this. This isn't about the synagogue, but it's about Judaism. My parents once got a visit from the FBI. They thought my parents were Soviet spies because my father wrote so many letters to Soviet Jews.
Wow.
Loving, supportive letters to Soviet Jews.
Really?
So they came, and then after they were totally convinced, the FBI, and then my parents were nothing anywhere remotely, Soviet Jews. My parents gave them coffee and cake, and they had a wonderful visit.
That's great. Okay, Fran and Mimi. Zach, can you just run around the others? Over here, Fran on the last row, and then Mimi up front. What? Okay. Okay.
Well, I also remember being at the Bat Mitzvah and Eileen and Judy and Rhonda Dorfman and Lynn Schaefer. I can't remember the six. Judy Alvin, right. So, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And we were Bat Mitzvah in the old building. Sorry, Rabbi, I keep calling it that. But a funny memory that I have is one of the Passover Seders. And it was the point in the Seder where you open the door for Elijah. And David Friedman decided just at that moment to walk out the door. And there was somebody, I think it was a child, a teenager or a child, was just about to walk in the door at that moment. And when David opened the door and the person saw David, it was like they thought he was Elijah. In other words, just the moment was just so funny that the timing was exactly right. Where just as he opened, I think the congregation was more shocked than the kid out in the hallway because when we opened the door, you're not supposed to see anybody standing there, and there was this person standing. It was pretty funny.
You know, I think that a couple of years we self-catered the Passover Seders. And David, wasn't that under Mark Goldberg's direction? Yeah, blessed memory. Oh, I love Mark. Yeah. Okay, Mimi, you want to come up here? Yeah. Ay. Maybe there might be one or two more, and then we'll call it quits.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So I have two messages here, one from me and one from Elisa, my oldest. So just a few words from me. Keep in mind that this was written as if we were in the other room, okay? I'm not going to change things around. I'm only going to fall over my face. This room holds many memories for me, primarily that our parents were an integral part of our new home away from home. Let me just relay one of many such memories. When Rabbi Perlstein decided to start an adult bat mitzvah class, which we've referred to, there were about 15 to 20 women who decided to sign up for the course. I was one of those women. When it was time for us to begin preparations for the actual event, my dad became ill and needed a quadruple bypass. At that time, people stayed in the hospital for weeks and then rehabbed for many more. I decided to drop out of the class because if my dad could not be here to experience this event in my life, it was not so important for me anymore. I was the rabbi's first dropout. I enrolled in the second class with only 2 other women this time. Everyone in the family could come, even the cousins from New York. So finally, at the ripe old age of 38, I celebrated my adult bat mitzvah. It was terrific. It meant so much to me and to my parents. Of course, this all took place right here in this room, that room. So being here today brings heartfelt memories of meaningful and good times. And our children were here too. How rare is that? Now let me read to you our oldest daughter Elisa's words of her recollections and observations of bringing in this room as she was growing up. I've always described Ohev Shalom as having a very grassroots beginning. My earliest memories are sitting in the original sanctuary, Rabbi standing on the bima with the brown carpet saying, "Elisa, would you like to lead the Shema?" or the Baruch Hu, V'shamru, or whatever prayer it might have been, and 7 or 8 or 11-year-old me coming up to the bima, standing on my tiptoes on the step stool so I could see above the lectern and leading the congregation in prayer. That is not the norm in an established traditional congregation with the rabbi, cantor, and synagogue lay leaders all in their places of honor on the bima. Kids aren't really welcome up there. But growing up in the warm, welcoming Hamish environment is much of what shaped me as a Jewish educator and as a Jew. I've been in this room over the years for many different reasons. It was my Hebrew school classroom for many years. I definitely won a few goldfish in this room at various Purim carnivals. And most recently, that room is where we signed our ketubah 26 years ago. But to me, this will always be the original sanctuary. My family's involvement in Ohev since the very beginning showed my siblings and me the importance of being involved in our Jewish community. All 3 of us are very involved in our respective synagogues as adults. However, I still consider Ohev Shalom to be my spiritual home, no matter how far away I live. I know this is just supposed to be a memory of the original sanctuary, but I did want to share another thought. It was wonderful being here for your retirement Shabbat weekend, Rabbi, listening to all of the well-deserved accolades in your honor. Almost nothing was missed in your tributes except one thing. Rabbi, when there's a simcha, one of the most special and thoughtful gifts you give to your congregants is the gift of a gematria. And on the occasion of your retirement, I figured it was appropriate that the gift of a gematria is given to you. In Bereshit, in the beginning, God is creating the world. Of course, I'm going back to the beginning because, well, that's when we began. In the Torah, in the Torah, after every point of creation, the Torah says that God saw it was good. Ki tov, it was good. 48 years ago, a group of young families came together with a vision of a Jewish future for their children and their new community, and they created this spiritual place, and it was good. Ki tov. However, if you're doing the math, you'd say, thank goodness Elisa is a Jewish educator and not a math teacher. Ki tov only adds up to 47, not 48. Where's the plus one? Well, Rabbi, the plus one is you. A group of young families had a vision, but they needed a spiritual leader to make it happen. You helped them create this place of love, this place of peace. Ohev Shalom. This spiritual home that has grown and shaped the Bucks County community and generations of Jewish families, including my own. You did that for us, and it was good.
Wow. Thank you, Mimi. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I think that's, okay, you have the last one, Cheryl. No, go on. Okay, and Julie. You know what? Just pass it down, Zach. Wait, one second.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My daughter Mindy went to nursery school here, and I met my best friend. We carpooled together, Roz Mondell. I don't know if you remember her.
Sure.
And when the kids went to Hebrew school in the old building, used to sell bagels, and Roz would be in the circle selling bagels every week. Do you remember when we used to do that?
I don't think I ever bought a bagel, but I trust that you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was fun.
Yeah, great. That's great.
Where is
Okay, wait. Julie is what?
So I was probably one of those kids running around that you were talking about. Been here since I was 3 years old. My favorite memories of the old sanctuary are when we had Simchat Torah. And I absolutely loved how we would take the Torahs and walk out the main door and walk along the streets. And I don't know why, that was just so much fun. And I thought it was so cool that we could take the Torahs outside. I absolutely loved that. I'm not sure when I started making you tea, Rabbi, after services were over, but I certainly remember that. And I knew exactly how you liked it. And I would bring you the tea and you would say, "Thank you, Julie, sweetheart." And I was always Julie's sweetheart. And my mom likes to joke around that for years I thought sweetheart was my middle name. And I made you tea. I think it continued into this building until you stopped saying, "Thank you, Julie, sweetheart." So I stopped making you tea. Because you just didn't appreciate me anymore. But I do remember when this building was being built, and I was honestly so sad. And I remember sitting in the backseat of my parents' car driving by, and I remember crying because I did not want a new building. I loved the old building. The old building was home. That was my comfort. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I didn't understand why we needed a new building. But here we are, and it's still home. And now it's not only home to me, it's home to my husband, it's home to my children, and it's so good.
Thanks, Zach. So, Julie, I was, of course, I remember the tea every Friday night. And, a couple of weeks ago I was saying to myself, well, I hardly ever drink tea. No. And after services, I always go and get a cup of coffee, decaf. But But why was I drinking tea? And the reason was that our services were later. They were like 7:30, they were 8 o'clock. So I would have dinner before I came to the service, and I had chicken every week. So I was still fleishik, and I was drinking tea. So, yeah. Great. Thanks, Jolie. That's a great memory. That's great. Okay, thanks everybody. Wow, that was really fun. Fun. Great. Yeah. Okay. Well, we still have the Oneg Shabbat afterwards. And if you didn't have a chance to just walk upstairs, I assume the lights are still on, Barbara, all the way up? Yeah. Okay. Just if you'd like to see the what is now known as Founders Hall in the East Wing, you're welcome to go upstairs. And there are 2 Torahs. They're in the Ark. Yes. Jeff built, and I guess learned or relearned tonight that Mark Levin did the upholstery on the inside. But if you should open the doors, because we used to have a Kohen, Alan Kogan, and he would take me out to the Philmont Country Club once a year, and he would say to me, he said, Elliot, what do you want to do this year? Because he was going to fund it. So one year we started a Monday afternoon arts program, and the kids, at that time it was downstairs in the multi-purpose room, and the kids did all this beautiful artwork. So if the doors are closed, just open them up so you can see the artwork. Yeah. Go upstairs and see it. Yes, Rick, and then Carl.
Are there any chairs up there we can move? For old time's sake?
Well, truth be told, I spent a little bit of time this afternoon moving the chairs. And as I'm moving the chairs, I'm like schwitzing up a storm. I'm schwitzing. And I'm saying, oh, Barbara left. Barbara, what's wrong with the air conditioning? What's wrong with the air conditioning? So there was some movement of the chairs still today. It's a tradition that doesn't end. What's that?
I said that was a tradition every Friday.
Every Friday night, yeah. Every Friday night. Yes, Carl.
Rabbi, I just wanted to mention that for those of us who have grandchildren in the congregation, Ohev Teenies is in Founders Hall once a month. It is wonderful to be up in that room and see all the little ones there. It's just terrific.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Chad and Julie, can I invite you both to come up and open the Ark for the Aleinu? Let's arise 118. Craig. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, לא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, ואלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ. אין עוד. Okay. Thanks, guys. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני I just want to take one moment. I know we're running a little bit late, but Julie, there is one other memory that I have of you that I think of often, really often. So you were like 15 or so, maybe 16, but I think you were 15. You went to Israel. Wasn't for the first time because you went in like 87 with the congregation, but you went on a youth trip, right? So Jolie goes to Israel, and then she comes back. I was really proud of you, Jolie, that you went to Israel. You had that whole experience. Okay. So whatever the occasion was, we're doing the Hatikva one night. And Jolie, you came over to me and you said, Rabbi, you're singing the Hatikva wrong. And the funny thing is, the way I was taught to sing it did not include the words bat, shnot alpayim, bat. But every time I sing it now, I include that word, and that's how everybody sings it now. Somehow, yeah, and I go, that's Julie, right there. That was great. That was great, Julie. Yeah. You figured, if you brought me the tea all those times, you can tell that guy. Yeah, you're not singing it right. Yeah, right. Okay. So let's take a moment to call to mind those whose yurtsites have been observed during the course of this past week and today. We recall the lives and loving memories of Glenda Rothman, Ellen Epstein, Michael Levin, Joseph Bondell, Howard Eston, Beatrice Steinberg, Erwin Hirsch, Robert Greenspan, Louis Lertzman, Henry Buckman, Susan Drabin, Florence Lakin, Lisa, your dear father, Donald Golden. Your dad had how many patents? 17 different patents? What was the number? Yeah, it was a tremendous, it was so amazing what your dad did during his lifetime, Lisa. So amazing. And Lisa, also your dear Aunt Adele Foreman. Rose Stupp, Leona Finkelstein, Selma Roman, Beverly, your dear mother, Edith Nisman, and, you know, the Nisman Lobby, named after your family. Mitch, your dear mother, Loretta Kaltz. Alan, your dear mother, Jenny Kolombeck. Yeah. George Heller, Steve, your dear mother, Faye Levin. George Heller and Rick, your dear stepmother, Adele Rosen Goldberg, and Anna Levy. May their memories always be cherished for a loving blessing. We'll find Kaddish Yatom on page 124. If all those reciting Kaddish would now rise. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Meraba, Biolma, Divra, Chirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uv'chayei, Decho Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Uvizman Karev, Imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Leolam Ula'almei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnasei, V'yitadar, V'yit'aleh, V'yithalal, Shmei Dekutsha B'rechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Ta'amiran bi'olma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'apol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'apol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Greg, greetings, announcements. It's all yours.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So wonderful hearing all the memories. I guess I'm lucky I get to go last. I guess my most vivid memory is first Rabbi did everything in the early days. We had no cantor. We weren't big enough to have a cantor. And then we had a cantor, Cantor Snyder. And I did all of my bar mitzvah training with him. And right before my bar mitzvah, about a month before my bar mitzvah, he announced that he was leaving. And I was terrified. I mean, this was the man that taught me everything I knew. And Rabbi said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." My bar mitzvah day came, and it was the first Shabbos for Cantor Gewurz. And I had learned the whole service. So I think it might have been the easiest day in his life, except at the time, somehow the tradition had started that they were throwing candy after the Haftarah. So I knew it was coming, so I ducked. Poor Cantor didn't know it was coming. The terrified look on his face was amazing. I don't know how he came back for a second week. But it was just, this is only the second synagogue I have ever been a member of. And I came here when I was 9 years old. So my memories of my first synagogue are very, very limited. But I do remember that kids were not on the bima in my first synagogue. Kids were either to be in the children's service or they were to be seen and not heard. So to come here and sit and have Rabbi say, "Okay, Craig, come on up, it's your turn." He had to be talking to somebody else because kids didn't go on the bima, except they did here. And not only they did, they were welcomed, they were asked. Sometimes we ran out before we could be asked because we knew it was coming. But it was a wonderful way to learn the service. And it was made to be fun. We had our friends, and we were all here Friday nights and Saturday mornings, and we all sat with each other. And Rabbi, you fostered that. You welcomed us as children. You made us want to learn and want to be here in the synagogue. And that's carried through. The building is just a physical place. This congregation is the same as it was when I started here 46 years ago. It's still an open, inclusive, welcoming, warm community. And that's because we've always taken our lead from our leader. You will be missed, Rabbi. But we know you'll be here right there in the fourth row. Whatever time you show up, it's okay. It's okay. Greetings, announcements, they're all on the page. As I say every week, everybody can read. The one thing that is not on here, you should have all received an email inviting you to be our guest the last Shabbos that Rabbi will be on the Bima. It will be our privilege and our honor to name Rabbi Perlstein as Rabbi Emeritus of Ohev Shalom. A title well-deserved. So please, if you haven't received the email, call us, reach out to us. We want everybody here, anybody who you know, former congregants who may not have heard, reach out to them, have them reach out to us. We would love to see as many people here as we can get. With that, I will say Shabbat Shalom.
So those of you who received the Jewish Exponent, you noticed, I'm sure, that on the front page is Rabbi Leora Kling Perkins. And when I got my my newspaper yesterday, I got my Exponent yesterday, so at first I was very surprised, and then it was just like a really good feeling. It was a really good feeling. It said, Ohev Shalom's new spiritual leader. And, and I think that we're all handing off our synagogue to her, in a sense, in really good shape. We've built a really fine, good, strong, loving, caring, wonderful synagogue for her now to come and be our spiritual leader. And I hope that you'll all find an opportunity to meet her and get to know her. It's one thing getting to know somebody who stands on the bima, but ultimately, we're more than just people who stand on the bima. And I have to tell you that there have been, over the years, some congregants that when they join, they make an appointment to see me. And we spend an hour together talking. And I never forget that. And it's, they share things, and I get to know them just like that. So if any of you have some extra time, and don't do it right away, because... No. She's moving in, I think, this coming week. So she's going to be like crazy with just moving into the area. She's going to be living in Churchville, not far from the synagogue. But, as time goes on, if you... What's that?
I said with 2 young children.
With 2 young children, right. So, but, it doesn't have to be over the summer But as time goes on, if you ever have an opportunity, just, be in touch with her. And actually, she has something that I never had. You have to be really organized to do this. She has, as I think Cantor has it, you have it, Barbara, where you have your calendar, and people can see your calendar and make an appointment with you online, right? Yeah. What's it called? Calendly. Yeah, no, it's a great thing. I never know where I'm going to be at any given moment. So I've never been able to do that. But anyhow, it's. I hope you will. I hope you'll get to know her. And nice to see her picture on the front page of the Exponent. Okay, just after the service, we're all invited into the Oneg Shabbat. Our thanks to Barbara for everything that went into putting the Oneg Shabbat together tonight, getting the room almost totally set up. And a very special thanks to myself. I'd like to say thank you. You're welcome for going to House of Kosher today and getting all of the kosher cheeses, and I hope you enjoyed it. And when you go to House of Kosher and you're being checked out, just remember to say 1976. That's our code. What do we get? 1.5%? 2%? We get 2%? Okay. Okay, that's good. That's worth it. Okay. And it's great to go shopping there. Just really, if you haven't been there, it's on Bustleton Avenue, just below Haldeman. Yeah, it's great. Great. Okay, Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Adon Olam, Liet Na'asa, V'chefzo Kol, Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yacharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hove, Vehu Yeh Betifara Adon Olam, Vehu Echad, Ve'ein Sheni, Lehamshilo Lahachbira Adon Olam, Beli Reshit, Beli Tachlit, Velo ha'oz ve'hamizra Adon Olam, Vehu Eli, Vechai Goali, Ve'tzorechev libi Yetzara Adon Olam, Vehu Nisi Umanos li, Mimnat Kosi Biomekra Adon Olam, Be'ado Afked rochi, Bi'eti shan v'ya'ira Adon Olam, Ve'im rochi geviati, Adonai li velo ira, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, V'chefzo Kol, Azay Melech. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.